everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is a rainy day here, and one of my favorite things to do when it is raining is to start seeds. It's something that I needed to get done anyway, so I figured why not just bring you guys along with me today and let's get some fall seeds started. So today I'm going to start mainly brassicas because those are cool weather crops. So it is July and it is the heat of the summer, but as a gardener you're always planning and thinking ahead. So right now I am preparing for my fall garden. So with the fall garden you only have a short amount of time before the frost comes. So I'm going to get these seeds started indoors and then I will harden them off and get them planted in the garden, hopefully end of August maybe, or beginning of September, I'm thinking. So what you want to do to just get an idea is you want to go on Google and say, when is my last frost day? And then it says my first frost day is October 14th. So I'm going to go on Google and say how many days until October 14th, and it says that I have 98 days. So what you want to do is look at your seeds. So for example, this one says this is a brassica, it's a broccoli, and it's a hybrid. This one says frost tolerant, 65 to 70 days, sow in early spring or late summer. So this variety is 65 to 70 days. According to my calendar, I have 98 days. You want to add a couple weeks onto this number because this number is calculating from the time that you have transplanted it out into the garden. So I'm not direct sowing these seeds because it's still hot. So I'm starting mine indoors. So I have to take into consideration the amount of time that it's going to take for them to germinate, and then for the seedlings to be hardened off. The hardening off process takes at least a week to 10 days as well. So you have to take all that into consideration and add that time to this number. So this says 75 days. My calendar is saying I have 98 days. So this is right about the time where I want to start this because it's going to give me some flexibility with the germination and the hardening off process. And I have several trays to do, but I'm just going to do two trays with you guys. I love starting seeds on rainy days because, like, as a gardener you get that itch and you want to go out and see your garden, and when it's storming and you can't get out and get your hands dirty, this is just one of those ways to get a little pinch of the garden on a rainy day. So I'm going to show you some of the varieties that I am going to be starting. So this is a couple. I started some like a week or so ago, and they've already sprouted and germinated, and I actually need to thin some of those out. I'm going to show you how to do that as well. I'll show you one plant how to thin it out. So I've already started some of my brassicas. As far as cabbages, I started collards, mustard, and I want to say bok choy. And then today I'm going to start broccolis, cauliflower, kohlrabi, and spinach. So this is a variety that I have. This one is from Hudson Valley Seed Company, and they always do like this such cool artwork. So I love that. I did attempt to grow this one in spring, and I grew 4, and the bunnies came in. I was having a bunny issue, and the bunnies came in and they ate them down to nothing. So I just pulled those out, and I just figured I would give it a try again for fall. So the leaves on this grow like a kale, and the bunnies obviously loved it because they ate all of them. And so that's another point that I want to point out is always plan for extra. Never plant the amount that you think you need. Always plant more, because things are going to happen, life's going to happen, and storms are going to happen. The bunnies are going to come through. You're going to have pest issues. The wind is going to take one out. So if you only plant 5 and the bunnies eat 2, the wind takes out 1, you're only left with 2. So I've learned Never plant what you think you need. Always plant more, because something's going to happen in between and can potentially take out one of those plants, and then you're down to 1 or 2 or none even. And that has happened to me. That's been a learning experience as well. Always plant more than what you think you need. If you get extra, give it away. Now you have extra for friends and family to share, which is always nice to do. I love sharing my garden with my friends and family. So the next one I'm gonna do is this Bell Star broccoli. This is the one that is a hybrid, and this one is from Botanical Interest. So that one did very well in my garden last year. And so right now what I'm learning is I buy a bunch of these different varieties, and I'm learning what grows well, what has a lot of pest pressure, what is doing well in my area with my climate and my temperatures. That is what I'm learning right now. And then I have a small garden, so space is limited. So yeah, in the beginning I was trying like a lot of heirlooms and just like a lot of different varieties to see what I like and see what is doing well here. And now I'm all about turnaround. What is going to do well? What has the best productivity? Which one is going to produce the most for me? I want the varieties that are prolific, that I'm going to have an abundance of, not just one here and there. So that is why I have started to go to Johnny Seeds. So Johnny Seeds is just a plain envelope. They don't come with the cool unique artwork like this, but their turnaround rate is great. So this one is called Green Magic, and this one is a hybrid broccoli. Then I have another hybrid broccoli. This one is Eastern Magic. Okay, now I have a frog that wants to join me. The wildlife in this backyard is real, and that is why when we were camping out, I was getting a little concerned, because I know we have snakes, we have frogs, we have everything that you can think of in this backyard. We have it because it is a backyard haven. But it turned out good. Camping was good. Then I'm gonna do this lettuce. Did this last year. It was great. It was a great producer. Ended up pulling it out to make space for something else, but it did very well. Gonna try this cauliflower again from So True Seeds. This one is from Asheville. This one is, can't wait to visit it in person. They were closed for a while due to COVID, but I think they're back open now. And so this one I tried last year. Again, nature took it out. Never got to see what it was. This one is another cauliflower. This one is called Snowball X. This one is Early Snowball. This one is 100 days, so I'm pushing it with this one, because according to Google I only have 98 days. So this says 100 days from transplant. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get anything from this one. Then I'm going to, this is a hybrid. This is Flame Star Cauliflower. It's supposed to be like an orange cauliflower. So I'm very excited to see how that one turns out. That one is only 62 days. Now we're moving into my kohlrabi. Love kohlrabi. It's so good. Oh, my little hummingbird friend is here. This one is Early Purple Vienna. Grown it before. Love it. This one I've never done before. I just got this one. Quick Star Kohlrabi from Johnny's. It's a hybrid. White Vienna Kohlrabi. Now we're on to the spinach. This is all what I'm going to start today. Like I said, I've already started some, and I'm probably going to be starting some more other varieties. And even though it's the thick of the summer right now, there is an opportunity to still grow more. You can get like another wave of summer crops, like heat-loving crops, because I have 98 days. So a lot of these varieties, cucumbers, basil, like any of that stuff, you could probably grow again. I'm not going to do it because I'm just done with the summer garden for this time, and I'm just going to get focused on getting things together for my fall garden. So as things are dying out, I'm just pulling them out and I'm amending my soil and I'm getting ready. I'm definitely probably going to do some more sunflowers for the fall. I'm going to do some sunflowers, and I'm going to get some pumpkins going, and then that'll be it. And then I'll just focus on all this cool weather stuff. So I have this blue Bloomsdale long-standing spinach. This one says Doesn't say how long. Oh, but it says, oh, okay. That's a Bloomsdale long-standing spinach, and then I have this Bloomsdale spinach that I'm gonna try as well. I'm not sure if those are the same or not. But it says on here 45 days. So I might be planting this one too early because it's still warm. And it might make it go to seed. Then I'm gonna try this leaf spinach. It's a hybrid from Johnny's. And this one says 25 days. So I'm probably really pushing it with these. I probably might wait on these spinach. I might wait on the spinach and do those closer to August. Because these are gonna turn around pretty quick. And I don't want them to go to seed right away. Then I'm gonna try these greens. It says they are phenomenally tasty, stunning new superfood with 4 times as much vitamin A as carrots. So this is my first time trying this, and that's another thing about this company, the Baker Creek heirloom seeds. This company, usually this was a free seed, and also this was a free seed. I had purchased this before, but then I got it free again. But that's what I like. Every order that you purchase from them, they send you a free seed. And so this time, my last order, I got this one. And so I'm curious to try this one out. All right, so let's get started. We're gonna start getting some seeds planted, and I'm gonna show you how easy and simple it is. So what I do is, I have my Sharpie, and I come through with my Sharpie, and I just make a little hole, right with the tip of that. And I go through for each one, and make my little indentation with the tip of this Sharpie, and make a little hole. These are already pre-moistened. I've already wet these, made the soil a little moist, because this was sitting in my garage, so it was pretty dry. I go through with my Sharpie, and that's it. This is one that I had already started like a week or so ago, and this is a hybrid. This is the market green cabbage. So I'm going to show you how I separate that as well. So I go through and I start marking. I have my markers here. I go through and I just put them in. So I know this one is going to be Paris Island lettuce. This one is going to be Eastern Magic. This is going to be that romaine lettuce. And I just go in and I just put this in. And usually what I do is when I start planning what I'm going to plant, I'll go through with a glass of wine and I'll sit out here and I'll just start making my labels as my first process, my first step. Then the next day I'll come out and do this portion of it. All my labels in. All right. So this is what I'm going to get started. Right here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start right over here. So we're going to go with the bell star. Bell stars first. I'm going to come through. I'm going to get about 3 seeds. I'm going to start 3 seeds. So tiny. I'm going to be very careful. Alright, so I got my bell star. So I'm going to come through with these little 3 seeds and I'm going to drop them in. Drop them right in that hole. Then I'm going to move on to these greens. Alright, moving on to kohlrabi. 3 seeds. And just drop them in. Always plant extra. Like I said, you never know what's going to take them out. Pest, weather, one just doesn't produce well, something. Uh-oh. I think I just lost the seeds. Bam. Just drop them in. I'm going to try this Violetta once again. I haven't had any luck with this one, but it's supposed to be a purple cauliflower. So I'm going to try this one once again and hope that I am successful this time. This is easy, you guys. This is easy. And if you don't have, I get these 4-inch cups off Amazon, these little pots. But you don't even have to have these pots to start seeds. You can use solo cups. You can use old milk cartons, old egg cartons. You can use whatever resources you have. Don't let these things, material things, stop you from starting your garden. You don't need these markers. These markers are helpful, yes, but guess what? You don't need them. You can use tape and just tape on what you have. All right, this tray is done. So right now we're moving on to this one. We're gonna move on to this one. So what do I have here? We have the Easter Magic to make the decision if I will continue to grow it or if I will move on to something else. But I'm all about looking for the varieties that work well for me in my zone, in my climate. And then I will continue to grow that variety. So that is what I'm on a hunt right now. I'm on a variety hunt, seeing which ones do well for me. And when I find those prolific providers, then that's what I will continue to grow. All right, we got the purple peacock. I'm gonna try that one again because the bunnies ate it before I got to it last year. And this is how it looks. It was beautiful. It's more like a broccolini, or so than heading broccoli. It's like broccolini. Get my 3 seeds and just drop them in. And see, with these 3 seeds, I may get all 3 to germinate. I may get 1. I may get 2. So I always put several in there and see what's the outcome. If I get 3, I'll keep all 3. Or if I want to just keep 1, then I'll just trim off the other 2. But I usually keep all 3. If I get 3, I keep 3. And I'm gonna show you what I do when I get all 3. But I like to start them all in one pot like this and then transfer out other ones to a new cell pot. And I always start several of them like this in one pot. All right, we got one more broccoli right here. And see, these seeds came from Dollar Tree. This Dollar Tree is like one of my favorite places. These trays came from Dollar Tree. Some of these cups are at Dollar Tree. Use your resources. You don't have to get the most expensive stuff to start a garden. These seeds are 25 cents at Dollar Tree. 4 for $1. No excuse. Uh-oh, it's getting windy out here. Alright, so I got my seeds in. And then this is what I do. They're all in there. You see the little indentation from my pen. Then I come through and I just slightly cover them up with my pen. Uh-oh, let me get my seeds because this wind is starting to blow everything around. Let me try to cover them up. I come through, I cover them up with the pen, just like that. Bam. Come through, cover these up. All right, those are covered. Everything's ready. I left these 3 over here empty because I'm gonna separate this cabbage, and I'm gonna show you how I do that in just a minute. Real easy. So I started this one about a week ago. 3 plants came up. I sowed 3 seeds just like I did here, and I got all 3. So I want to keep all 3. If I didn't want to, you would just come through here with your scissors and snip off the ones that you don't want. You would pick the healthiest one and then just snip off the other 2 if you don't want them. You don't want to pull them out because then you can you're going to damage like the roots for all of these. But you can just snip them out with just a little pair of scissors, and it's too easy. But I'm going to keep those, and that's what I usually do. I sow 3 seeds in each one of these. If all 3 come up, I keep them and I just move them to a new cell. So these are all set. Do the same thing to this tray. Go ahead, come through with my pen so you can see the seeds in there. You see my little 3 seeds, and then I come in and just cover it up. And I do that. I don't cover them until the end because I want to make sure that I didn't skip something and I got seeds in every one. So I cover that up, move that little big piece of wood or mulch or whatever it is, and I cover these up, cover this up. Then the next step is to just lightly moisten them. You can mist it, you can use whatever you want to use. I'm going to use my little sprayer right here to just gently ever so slightly, moisten them up a little bit so that the seeds can get wet, and put them under my grow light and begin to germinate. Within a few days, I usually start to see sprouts, and then in a week or so, they're looking like this. 3 healthy plants. This is the market green cabbage, and then I separate them out, which I'll show you in just a moment. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these sprayed down with my little sprayer, and we're gonna be ready to put them inside under my grow lights. Nozzle, you can change like the pressure and everything that you want. So I'm gonna make sure that it's very light, and I'm gonna come through and I'm gonna just gently try to gently, mine coming out a little bit fast, gently try to water these in a little bit. And you don't need much because the soil was already pretty moistened before I put the seeds in. Then I'm just let the seeds get a little wet before I put them inside under my grow lights. And that's it, too easy. So this one's done. I'm gonna move that. Now we're gonna work on this. Time to get our hands dirty. So I have this tray. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use this. Oh, I have this plant. I'm gonna take this marker out and put it here. And I actually might mark up 2 more, because you never remember. You always want to mark them, because even though you think you're gonna remember, you don't remember. I always think, oh, okay, I don't need to put something there because I'm gonna remember what it is. And then once things start getting moved around, you start watering, I never know what they are. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that this is the market green cabbage, because now I'm separating them. Market green cabbage. And I'm gonna put that it's a hybrid. Alright, that's going there. And then another one. Market green cabbage. Hybrid. Hybrid is not bad, you guys. Hybrid is just a cross between 2 plants that somebody has crossed. So here we go. I'm gonna turn this over. I'm gonna turn it upside down. I'm gonna put my fingers around these seedlings like this to try to support some. I'm gonna turn it upside down, and you can see the roots already growing in there. So what you want to do gently is, I probably should have used another container. I'll use this one. And I'm gonna put these over here. So what you want to do gently is just gently separate these seedlings. So I got one right here, and I'm gonna use my finger. It's okay. Go ahead and dig a hole down into this container and make a little slot for this seedling's roots to go down in there. Just tuck them down in there, and then just move in the soil to the side of it. See, I am playing in the dirt today on this rainy day. Then I'm gonna use a little bit more of the soil to kind of pack around it so that it can have some support. Then I'm gonna separate these 2, just so slightly pull them apart. Got all the roots on this one. Then I'm gonna make a hole down in this one as well. And then I'm going to use some of this soil just to support it a little bit more. So you want to make a deep enough hole for all these roots to go in. That's why I'm pressing my finger all the way down in there, so that they can get back down in. And then using some of this soil to pack it in. Some roots did break off, but it's okay. Because you want to separate them while they're young, early like that, because once the roots start getting too combined, it's kind of harder to separate them, and then you stress them out more. You can still do it, but it just stresses them out more. So bam, we got all three right here. Separated into their own pots. I'm gonna water these in, and then they're gonna be in this pot until I transplant them out into the garden in a few weeks. These are all ready to go. Thank you for joining me today and starting seeds. Start my seeds with me. And then this is I'm gonna show y'all my little seed storage container. Let me see if I can pick it up. This is where I store all my seeds, in this little storage container, and I try to keep them organized. So I have just information here, more seeds. I have a little garden planner on when to sow things from Clyde's. Then I have some cute, I have them separated, and then I have some artwork from some friends. One of my friends, Joy, and one of my friends, Nancy, are artists, and so they have created labels for me, and I'm so thankful, and I love them. I love them. So I have different seeds in here. I'm not going to go through all of them, but this is how I store my seeds. And hopefully you guys will get started and sow some seeds. Get out there and sow some seeds. It's so easy, and it's so rewarding. Get your kids involved. My kids love it. My kids have become little gardeners, and they're so knowledgeable. My daughter can get out here and tell you more than I can about this stuff. So thank you for joining me. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and join me again for my upcoming video. Bye.